Hi kids! Today we're going to do 5 things. So first, we're going to listen and read a story called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So this time we're going to read chapter 17, Augustus Gloop Goes Up the Pipe. And last time we read about the book, you remember that Augustus Gloop was a kind of like a big guy and he likes eating, right? Maybe too much. So he saw this chocolate river, and what did he do? Yeah, right. He ran to the river, and he started to drink. He started drinking the chocolate river with his mouth, right? So let's see what's happening. What's happening after that? Okay. Do you guys think it's a good idea to run to the chocolate river when Mr. Wonka said, "Please don't do that"? Right. Yeah, it's dirty, right? So that's what we're gonna do first, and then we're gonna talk about the book, and then we're gonna talk about similar situation like this, the best decision you can make in any kind of situation, and we're gonna use the puppet to play with it. Okay. So now let's everybody sit on line. Now we're going to read this Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, chapter 17. Augustus Gloop Goes Up the Pipe. Okay, are you ready? Okay. Chapter 17, Augustus Gloop Goes Up the Pipe. When Mr. Wonka turned around and saw what Augustus Gloop was doing, what was he doing? Yes, drinking the chocolate river. He cried out, "Oh no, please, Augustus, please, I beg of you not to do that. My chocolate must be untouched by human hands." "Augustus!" called out Mrs. Gloop. "Didn't you hear what the man said? Come away from the river at once." "This stuff is fabulous," said Augustus, taking not the slightest notice of his mother or Mr. Wonka. "Gosh, I need a bucket to drink it properly." Do you think it's okay to do that? Yeah. "Augustus!" cried Mr. Wonka, hopping up and down and waggling his stick in the air. "You must come away! You are dirtying my chocolate!" "Augustus! Augustus!" cried Mr. and Mrs. Gloop. But Augustus was deaf to everything except the call of his enormous stomach. He was now lying full length on the ground with his head far out over the river, lapping up the chocolate like a dog. Yeah, like that, drinking and drinking and drinking. "Augustus!" shouted Mrs. Gloop. "You'll be giving the nasty cold of yours to about 1,000,000 people all over the country." Oh, so Augustus also has a cold. So if you have a cold and you drink water and somebody use the same cup without washing it, and you will also get infected. You also get a cold, right? So Augustus has cold, and then he drink the chocolate river that is going to deliver to all the kids in the world with his mouth, and he has a cold. What do you think about that? How do you feel? Yes. So, "Be careful, Augustus," shouted Mr. Gloop. "You are leaning too far out." Mr. Gloop was absolutely right, for suddenly there was a shriek, and then a splash. And into the river went Augustus Gloop, and in 1 second he had disappeared under the brown surface. He fell into the river, right? "Save him!" screamed Mrs. Gloop, going white in the face and waving her umbrella about. "He'll drown! He can't swim the yard! Save him! Save him!" "Good heavens, woman," said Mr. Gloop. "I'm not diving in there. I've got my best suit on." Augustus Gloop's face came up again to the surface, painted brown with chocolate. "Help! Help! Help!" he yelled. "Fish me out!" Don't just stand there, Mrs. Gloop screamed at Mr. Gloop. Do something! I'm doing something, said Mr. Gloop, who was now taking off his jacket and getting ready to dive into the chocolate. But while he was doing this, the wretched boy was being sucked closer and closer toward the mouth of one of the great pipes that was dangling down into the river. Then all at once, the powerful suction took hold of him completely, and he was pulled under the surface and then into the mouth of the pipe. The crowd on the riverbank waited breathlessly to see where he would come out. There he goes, somebody shouted, pointing upwards. Okay, so that's the story we're going to read so far. And we're going to read about another 2 more pages. We're going to finish this chapter. Okay, and after that, okay. Kids, can you tell me about, what if you are in the chocolate factory and Mr. Wonka already told us to not go to the river, to not touch the river. And what will you do? Right. So we're going to talk about some of the situation that is best for us, and all the decisions that we can make that we think it would be better and it would be right for everybody. And then we're going to use the puppet to show to everybody. Okay, so can anybody tell me some of the situation? Maybe I can start with some of the scenario and you tell me some of the situation, and then you guys can tell me more about it, and let's share. Okay, so let's say all the toys are all scattered around, and you are standing there, and then you see one person is cleaning up the toys. So what do you do? Okay. So and then we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna use the puppet to play with it. Okay, that will be my lesson plan. Okay, thank you.